Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. I will die trying to get Phillip Lindsay the recognition he deserves as Offensive Rookie of the Year, Perna. The only other things I'd die for are my wife and the idea that bottomless mimosas or Bloody Marys should be served with breakfast at McDonald's. Now, even before the Broncos started beating good teams like the Chargers and Steelers, back when they existed only in the deepest, darkest pits of Satan's arms, back in that swampy, pungent hell, shined a bright light on this Broncos team, and his name is Phillip Lindsay. Today, I'll make the case for Lindsay and why I believe he should be a top candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year. One such reason is that he has all of the intangibles. Like, if you were to throw him on a frozen pond, he'd be able to skate with the Michelle Kwans and the Brian Boitanos of the world without missing a beat. That's Good Sports presents Phillip Lindsay, the new Duke of Denver's case for Rookie of the Year. If you're new to That's Good Sports, please subscribe. Before we get to Phillip Lindsay, I'm excited to announce that today's episode is sponsored by Bombfell.com. That's BOMBFELL.com. What's Bombfell? From head to toe, it's an easier way for men to get nice clothing. Look, if you're like me, you hate shopping for clothes. I hate it almost as much as I hate the Patriots. Almost. Now, Bombfell changed that for me. After completing a simple questionnaire, they had a dedicated stylist pick out my clothes and then sent it to me so I didn't have to leave the house. They sent me the clothes I am wearing right now, which I wore on Thanksgiving. A stylist will email you clothing selections, which you can change or cancel altogether for any reason. Then, when you get your clothes, you have 7 days to try them on. If you're not satisfied, you send them back for free, and the more clothes you keep, the more money you save. If you keep 2 items, you get 10% off, 3, 15%, 4, 20% off, get more, save more. And the best part is the flexibility at Bombfell.com. You can receive clothes when you want, with the option to stop or pause at any time. You are not locked into a monthly program. And Bombfell was cool enough to set up a special discount just for That's Good Sports viewers, that's you, which is a $25 discount off of your first order when you use my link in the description, or go to bombfell.com/thatsgoodsports. Bombfell, open and close. Wordplay, yes. Now, Phillip Lindsay, the ice skating run I showed you at the beginning of the video by Lindsay per Next Gen Stats is the fastest run in the league this year at 22.36 miles per hour. That's faster than Saquon Barkley, faster than Tyreek Hill, and faster than the downfall of the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's also faster than the green iguana, so Phil will never have to worry about being bitten by one of those, unless it's a sneak attack. The fact that Phillip Lindsay is actually living at home with his parents to save money also makes him more fiscally responsible than all other Rookie of the Year candidates. The NFL values the almighty dollar more than anything else. But this does leave every man in America wondering, does Phillip Lindsay bring girls home to his parents' house? If he's truly trying to save money, he'll never talk to another woman again in his life. By now, you've heard it 1,000 times, Phillip Lindsay was undrafted. The Phillip Lindsay story is a special NFL success story, perfect for the holiday season. His life story could be the highest rated movie on Hallmark for all of December. The odds of making it to the NFL are 1 in 10 million. The odds of making it to the NFL and playing in your home state after going to college in your home state and playing high school football in your home state are 1 in 100. What? I'm not sure how that math works, but I put it in a spreadsheet, so it's accurate. Phillip Lindsay is Colorado. He's so Colorado, if you smoke his hair, you will get super high. Phillip Lindsay is also the only Rookie of the Year candidate to get ejected this season for being too freaking tough. Ejected from the Ravens game, a small man, a man my size, is so intimidating, so threatening to the opposing team that the referees had no choice but to eject him. That is a guy who puts the fear of football god Gridironius in the hearts of anyone who steps in front of him. Give me that toughness any day of the week. Now, Lindsay currently has rushed for the 7th most rushing yards in the league with 780, and he's averaging 5 yards per carry, which is easily the most of anyone in the top 10. Just to put that in context, the highest yards per carry in a single season ever is, well, that's Michael Vick with 8.4, but that doesn't count because he was a quarterback. And then there's some guy named Beatty Feathers from the 1934 Bears. He sure doesn't count. Neither does Skeets Quinlan from the 53 Rams, who averaged 7.3 yards per carry. I can't tell if these are old football players or characters from the new Fantastic Beasts movie. The first legit running back on this list is Jamal Charles in 2010 with 6.4 yards per carry. So Lindsay is 0.6 yards away from the record for the modern era running back in just his rookie season. And the one glaring difference I see between Lindsay and Charles is that Lindsay has yet to fumble this season. Neither has Saquon Barkley or Nick Chubb, all rookie running backs playing great football on teams with losing records. I guess protecting the ball isn't that important. Lindsay's also tied with Jim Brown's 1960 season right now, and he has a chance to go even higher. Lindsay only rushed for 4.9 yards per carry in college, which means he's actually getting stronger, faster, and more decisive in the NFL. It's a phenomenon known as the reverse Trent Richardson effect. Lindsay's biggest competition for this illustrious award is Giants running back Saquon Barkley, Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield, and maybe Kerryon Johnson. Johnson faces two battles here. One, being a Detroit Lion, a team that is pretty bad, and two, a slow start to the season. So that basically just leaves Saquon and Baker. Why the hell did I even mention Kerryon Johnson? Only to immediately dismiss him? That just seems rude. If Baker Mayfield continues to play the way he has been, 11 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions in the last 4 games, he will run away with this award. A high-performing quarterback always has an advantage here. A high-performing quarterback getting wins for the Cleveland Browns actually had worse odds of happening according to Vegas sportsbooks than the second coming of Jesus. The unhuggable Baker Mayfield may steal this away from Lindsay and Barkley. Now, using history as an example, Phillip Lindsay's other major challenge is his head coach, Vance Joseph, and offensive coordinator, Bill Musgrave, aka Judas and Brutus. It's hard to argue that Phillip Lindsay is having a better campaign than Saquon Barkley, who has 71 receptions this season for 581 yards with 4 receiving touchdowns and 8 rushing touchdowns, to Lindsay's 6 rushing and 1 receiving touchdown. That disparity is due to Lindsay's coaches deciding to only target him in the passing game 31 times this season. Barkley, on the other hand, has had 87 balls thrown his way, which is a lot, even for someone like Liberace to handle. Saquon also has 36 more rushing attempts than Phillip Lindsay. The only way Lindsay wins Rookie of the Year is if he leads the Broncos from 5-6 into the playoffs. And trust me, if the Broncos make the playoffs, it's going to be primarily because of Phillip Lindsay. Saquon obviously has more touches, more receiving yards, but he's not affecting the fortunes of his team the same way that Lindsay has been. So if Lindsay guides him to the playoffs, I think there's a chance. But then there's also East Coast bias he has to defeat, and then draft bias to defeat, and then East Coast bias again because Barkley went to Penn State and Lindsay went to CU. More like see you later Rookie of the Year award. My question, however, is this. Would you rather have Saquon Barkley with the number 2 overall pick in the draft, or Phillip Lindsay with no pick and just a 5-digit signing bonus? I think even the Giants fans know that you'd take Lindsay's value any day, because if Sam Darnold turns out to be good, the Giants will always regret that pick. The Broncos got Lindsay, and he was just a bonus to Bradley Chubb, Cortland Sutton, and Royce Freeman. So he has the best value of all the rookies. Regardless of whether or not he wins, one thing is certain. Lindsay should hold out after this season for more freaking money. He is the best player on the Broncos offense, and he has the state of Colorado behind him. He is more Colorado than Casa Bonita. In fact, he is a cliff diver there on the weekends. He's so Colorado, he gives Coors brewery tours at halftime of home games and drinks Coors instead of Gatorade at away games. He's so Colorado, he's the only person in the state still searching for JonBenet Ramsey's killer, and he does it on a fucking mountain bike made out of hemp. That's how Colorado Phillip Lindsay is, and that's why he should be your next Colorado State Senator. I mean, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Shout out to Brandon Eccles for some of the help there with the Phillip Lindsay Colorado talk. Are you watching, Eccles? Also, one quick thought, I'll leave you with this. Whether Saquon wins, Baker, or Lindsay, right now, two of the three top candidates are running backs, a position that has been devalued by the NFL. But the fact that two rookies may win this award show you how important that position actually is to team success, even though teams aren't willing to pay those guys what they used to. And that's why Le'Veon Bell still ain't playing. And if you want $25 off your Bombfell order, remember, bombfell.com/thatsgoodsports. Their clothes even go nice with my loud jackets. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube, share this video with all of your Broncos friends, and make sure Phillip Lindsay becomes the god he deserves to be treated like. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, @BrandonPerna, if you have any interest in hearing more words from my brain.